Hi guys, I just bought an Android head unit called Audiblex from the nearby car showroom CarSense. It was nowhere listed in the online, so when I just visited the showroom, these guys assured that this is like an excellent device and you need not to worry about. We haven't received any complaints for this one because this is designed in Germany. You could see there is a flag of a German flag which has been mentioned. They have marked it as 2 GB 32. Um, 32 GB RAM. Here they says 2 GB ROM and to RAM 2 GB and ROM 16 GB, but they have corrected saying that it is actually 32 GB variant. Okay, and it costed around 21,990. They offered me for 21,000, including the back camera and the panels. So it costed me 21,000. They mentioned it is Android version 10, and it supports 360 degree and mirror link support, blah blah blah. But I would say that the mirror link support didn't work. Let me just turn on the device and show you guys how it starts up. I would like to mention that we had a pre-installed theme over it, which has a default of four themes, which is already downloaded. And if you want any more themes, you have to purchase it. But the theme doesn't go well with me because like it was pretty slow. So I had to uh, download and install a new version, which I bought Pro after I liked it. So this one actually freed me up around 100 to 200 MB RAM, and it was much more efficient. So this is the theme which I mentioned about. This is pretty good. You can, I mean, I customized it having my Toyota logo here. So yeah, this is the theme I just mentioned about. Yeah, the installed theme version was this one, and I had to replace this because this was pretty slow. It was like already the RAM memory what it had in the system was pretty low. So this was actually consuming 100 MB extra. So I had to install a different version which is called Car Launcher. I think you can just download it from the Play Store. This is the version. This is the Car Launcher one. You can try installing this one. This actually frees up like under the 150 MB of RAM more. So for example, I was getting around 300 MB free RAM, and after installing this Car Launcher, I was getting around 400 MB RAM. So just an 100 MB boost. It works fine. See, if I open the settings, if I go to the about device, it says Android version 11, which it came with Android version 10, and when I updated it, it went to Android 11, and it's a quad core processor, the TS7 in the system version. They have mentioned it. Let me just check whether this is the exact version of what they have mentioned it. If you go to CPU, yeah, I could go to CPU. It clearly states it's a 4 core. It's 1.30 gigahertz processor, and yeah, so everything as they mentioned, it's a quad core. Yeah, and if you go to memory, no, they have faked it as 2 GB RAM in the box. If you could see in the box, they have mentioned as 2 GB, and even in the top they have mentioned as 2 GB. But even the Android unit they mentioned a 2 GB, but it's just 1.5 GB RAM. So you have to be more careful installing the CPU Z CPU Z application before purchasing anything. And yeah, it's 32 GB internal memory, and so the free internal memory is around 16 GB, and total RAM is just 1 GB, 1.5 GB. In that 1 GB only we can use it. So that is something you have to install and check it before you purchase. And they called it Android 11. It's Android 8.10, which you have to be much more careful. You can install it and check it. And the API version is 27. API version 27 mentions it's Oreo. Okay, so you have to check this before purchasing. So I would like to say that even if the showroom guys say that recommend a product something like this, it's always better to check the versions. Whatever they mentioned here may not be the correct one, or whatever mentioned in the setting may not be the right one. So it's always better you just the Android version 11 is not the actual Android version 11, it's just Android version 8. And the RAM, they have mentioned it as 2 GB, it's not the 2 GB, it's just 1.5 GB. So before purchasing an Android Ed unit, I would recommend you guys to install the ZPU X software. uh, you can right away check there whether what they have mentioned and what they have provided is correct or not. So uh, I would recommend not to go for Quad Core because the Quad Core is like pretty slow. I installed Amazon Music and YouTube Music and Google Maps. It can't run two softwares at a time, so it's pretty slow. So I don't really recommend to go to Quad Core unless you are much low on your budget, like not go beyond 10,000. If you're pretty good at having a cash around more than 15 to 20k or 25k, I would definitely recommend to go for octa-core, something with 8 cores. So it can run pretty two apps simultaneously. And then with the memory, never ever go behind any Android 8 units below 2 GB. Even if it's they assure 2 GB, it may not be the 2 GB, it might be just 1 GB like this. So I would recommend you to go and install the software and check. There are multiple softwares to get the device info. Just install those softwares and check the total RAM is 2 GB. Never go below 2 GB because the Android software is getting heavier day by day. So if you go below 2 GB, obviously you will feel that you are running out of memory most of the time, and the Android unit slows down within an year. So I would recommend the ideal RAM is around 4 GB, but it's better to go for the minimum of 2 GB variant even if you're in the crash crunch, because below that it's of no use. And the free internal memory the internal memory is 32 GB, is like if you're planning to download a lot of songs and keep it inside, or if you download a lot of applications to be installed, I would recommend you to go for the 32 GB variant, not the 16 GB one, because the app sizes are getting heavier day by day. So the Android versions, the latest one is around 10 or 11 in the market. So check for the exact variant, because they are faking it out. So check for the exact variant if it's like Android 11 or something like that. If it's don't go for Oreo or something. A minimum of Android 10 is recommended. Let's come to the summary now. So, if you ask me whether I would recommend the Audiblex brand, definitely not. Uh, they call it as German, but it's just a masked product of Topway TS7, which is a Chinese variant. You can find it a lot of devices, and this range is just a masked product of Topway TS7 variant. It's a quad-core processor. For a price budget of 21,000, I would definitely not recommend this one, because 21,000 you could go for a better processor and better RAM. I would definitely not recommend this as of now. If you're planning to buy an Android 8 unit, I would just recommend you to go for an octa-core processor, which is an 8-core processor, which works far better than the quad-core while having two applications running at the same time. And definitely go for a minimum of 2 GB variant if you're planning to have this Android Ed unit for at least 3 to 4 years. If you're planning to, if you purchased a new car, and if you're planning to keep the device for another a few years more than this, I would definitely recommend you to go for the 4 GB RAM variant, because that actually helps you um, for a better performance over the long period of time. And the internal memory, I would definitely recommend of minimum of 32 GB, because you have to download some songs in the offline and keep it. So 16 GB variant, definitely, like if you download just around 100 to 200 songs and few applications, the 16 GB memory would be full. And minimum recommended Android version is 8.1. And it's better always to start with, if you have a better budget, you can even go for Android version 10. So these are the minimum recommendations, though these may not be the same thing as they have mentioned over the box, or they would have explained it in the Android software. It's always better to check using the third-party apps like CPU-X or CPU-Z or Device Info. There are a lot of apps in the Play Store to check the device info, check whether these things what you have purchased have the exact versions there itself. Don't come to the home and like regret it later. And if you go for a 2 GB or 32 GB variant, it should approximately cost you, with an octa-core processor, it should approximately cost you within 15 to 20k, including all the installation costs. If you are planning to go for 4 GB or 32 GB variant, it should be somewhere around costing around 25 to 30k, including installation cost. Don't go beyond that, which is a waste of price. So you can check online. There is a product called Woodman, which is being Woodman, which is being an Indian brand, but I think again it's a Chinese master version. But uh, at least they are providing a decent pricing, so you can even try that. But I'm not sure of the warranties, so it's always better to check the multiple products and then come to a conclusion. That's it, guys. Thank you, and this is Vinish signing off from you all.